कांग्रेस के जो रेल मंत्री हैं, तकरीबन 17 साल बाद कांग्रेस का कोई रेल मंत्री आज रेल बजट पेश किया है। और इस रेल बजट की खास बातें क्या है, यानी आम आदमी को क्या मिला और क्या उसकी उम्मीदें पूरी हो पाई हैं, इस पर चर्चा करने के लिए आज पार्लियामेंट कॉरिडोर में हमारे साथ खास मेहमान हैं सतीश एम वैश्य साहब, जो कि एक्स मेंबर रेलवे सेफ्टी रिव्यू कमेटी के रहे हैं। बहुत बहुत स्वागत है आपका सतीश जी। और हमारे वरिष्ठ सहयोगी गिरीश निकम भी हमारे साथ हैं। गिरीश, इस रेल बजट में आम आदमी को क्या मिला, क्या लगता है?
We will actually, Amrita, will look at all these things. Aam Aadmi ko, what the common man has got, and all those things. The bigger, there are several bigger issues involved in this. The health of the railways. How is the health of the railways, and whether the health of the railways will improve after this budget. One important thing about this budget is after 17 years, a major political party which is ruling at the center has got a minister from its own party. The last that Congress had a minister in railways was in 1996, and after that every coalition government has seen a partner, an ally, a member being the railway minister. And so it is very interesting to see how this government with a new minister, Mr. Pawan Kumar Bansal, who is from the Congress, is dealing with this issue.
जी, लेकिन गिरीश, एक चीज़ जो आज इस बजट के सुनने के दौरान लगा कि कोई बहुत बड़ी बातें और वादे नहीं किए गए, लेकिन जो किया गया वो ये ज़रूर थी कोशिश कि जो आम आदमी को रेलवे की सुविधा मिले वो कम से कम दुरुस्त हो, और उसमें जो कमियां हैं उसे किस तरह से ठीक किया जाए। क्या इस पर ज़्यादा फोकस रहा?
There is certain focus on improving passenger amenities, certainly, and there is also the bigger issue of safety and passenger amenity. These are two major issues which are always bothering the people in this also. Anyway, but now let us get our guest in, Mr. Vaish. What is the big picture from this budget?
The big picture is that this gentleman is doing not much better than the others. Introducing 67 new express trains. When you are saying you are oversaturated, where will these trains run? So what I think is that we are only nitpicking with various small subjects. Nobody has thought of track capacity, which at the moment cannot even carry the full coal of the existing powerhouses.
Mr. Vaish, Kakodkar report, the Kakodkar committee which went into this issue had clearly said that no more new trains should be introduced. But you know, see, the problem is that every time the railway minister comes out with a budget, there is a huge pressure on him. There is a huge pressure from the various ministers, from the various states. So you think the minister, he has just succumbed to that pressure?
No, there is no doubt that you are talking of one person. I have sort of seen for the last 2 decades, every year trains are increased, they are asked for, they are increased, population is increasing, and trains will increase. Let us take that as given. So what do we do? What we do is what we have done for the freight corridor,
right?
Calcutta, Delhi and Delhi-Bombay. But India is not Calcutta, Delhi or Delhi-Bombay. India is more than this. We have to do the same thing here. What have they done here? They have taken World Bank loan for one corridor, Japanese loan for the other corridor. So we have to take World Bank loan and increase capacity at least 1.5 times everywhere. You see, what is missed is that in railway technology, if you have capacity for 100 trains and you run 80 trains, they run at 2/3 the cost.
Right.
So if today you increase capacity by investing 100,000 crores, you will save 2/3 of the freight expenditure, roughly 20 to 30,000 crores.
Right.
And with this you can pay the interest and you can pay back the principal. So what really one has to do, forgetting all these small things which must be done and will be going on, is to take some very large loans and certify that for the next 5 years this country will not be short of rail capacity. There are new powerhouses being built.
Right.
How will that coal be carried? You are passing the food security bill. It will double the rail movement of wheat. Where will it move?
There is sorry, Amrita, there is a mention in the railway minister's speech about coal, iron ore, and mines. For that, they are building additional capacities. Do you think that's the right thing to do?
No. You see, as I said, they are only touching the surface. What he is talking about is linking ports or linking mines with the existing network.
Right.
I am talking of the network, the spinal cord of the railway. needs to be strengthened. You have a quadrilateral which carries 60% traffic. 2 chords of that are being strengthened. What about the remaining 4 chords?
Okay.
So according to me, we want to ask the railway minister, what will be required 5 years from now? Do you have it?
जी,
Or will you have it by then?
अभी जो मौजूदा वक्त है उसमें तकरीबन 64,099 किलोमीटर्स का रेलवे नेटवर्क ट्रैक है। इसको क्या आप ये कह रहे हैं कि इसको बढ़ा के ये जो आप जिस समस्या की तरफ आप ध्यान दिलाना चाहते हैं उसको दुरुस्त किया जा सकता है?
नहीं, देखिए ऐसा है, ब्रिटिश रेलवे ने अपना नेटवर्क छोटा किया था एफिशिएंसी के लिए। तो नेटवर्क के साइज से काम नहीं बनता है, काम उससे बनता है जहाँ रेल चलती है। तो जैसे हमारा क्वाड्रिलेटरल है, अभी वो डबल ट्रैक है, उसको 4 ट्रैक करना है। ये फ्रेट डेडिकेटेड फ्रेट कॉरिडोर बनाने के बाद कलकत्ता दिल्ली और दिल्ली बॉम्बे 4 ट्रैक हो जाएगा। लेकिन नॉर्थ से लेके और साउथ तक और बॉम्बे से चेन्नई और चेन्नई से कलकत्ता, ये सारे जो लाइंस हैं, और भी लाइंस हैं, बी रूट है ऊपर देहरादून वाला, तो इन सबको हमें ऐसा कर देना है कि कॉस्ट ऑफ ऑपरेशन बिकम्स 2/3.
But the cost of operation seems to have come down in this year. You know, the operating ratio has come down to 88.7%. They are saying it was beyond 90% all these years except 2 years. So it has come down a little bit. So you see that as a positive outcome.
No, this cost of operation is while carrying what you are carrying.
Right.
But what about having to carry 1.5 times more? Where will you carry that?
Exactly. So, but another important issue which for the common man is that the railway fares have not been hiked. There was a hike in January, and after that there was some concerns expressed that there may be another hike this time, but the railway minister has not gone in for a hike this time, except yes.
लेकिन फ्यूल सरचार्ज बढ़ा दिया। फ्यूल एडजस्टमेंट सरचार्ज जो लगाया है वो क्या एक तरह से पिछले दरवाजे से रेल किराया बढ़ाने की तैयारी हो सकती है?
ये जो काम करते हैं हमेशा पिछले ही दरवाजे से करते हैं। मेरा कहना ये है कि आप रेल किराए बढ़ाएं चाहे ना बढ़ाएं, आप एक उसूल रखें कि जो ट्रैवल करेगा वो रेल की कॉस्ट पे करेगा, चाहे वो सेकंड क्लास हो, चाहे एयर कंडीशन हो, जो भी क्लास हो, क्योंकि गरीब आदमी तो ट्रैवल करता ही नहीं, जिसके पास खाने को नहीं है वो ट्रैवल नहीं करता। तो ये बिल्कुल फजूल की बातें हैं कि हम इस कैटेगरी का नहीं करेंगे, उस कैटेगरी का करेंगे। फ्यूल सरचार्ज, अरे भाई खाली फ्यूल से गाड़ी थोड़ी चलती है। आपको ये कहना चाहिए अगर किसी भी वजह से कॉस्ट ऑफ ऑपरेशन बढ़ेगा तो हम किराया बढ़ाएंगे, वो कोई भी वजह हो, फ्यूल हो, पे कमीशन हो, कुछ भी हो।
एक टैरिफ, he talks about a tariff, a permanent tariff commission which is being set up. You think that is the solution to this problem? Because every time a railway minister tries to raise hike the fares, there is always a commotion in this country. So a permanent tariff commission, is that the solution?
It is a wonderful thing, but I have read somewhere it's only advisory. That is useless, because once you give the option in the hands of the government, it becomes political. मेरा कहना ये है कि इवन एडवाइजरी कमीशन से पहले आप अपना मन पक्का करें कि आप कितना पैसा किससे लेना चाहते हैं। वाई शुड नॉट दी पैसेंजर पे दी कॉस्ट? वो बजाय साल में 2 दफ़ा चलने के एक ही दफ़ा चलेगा, उसके जेब में पैसा बच जाएगा।
Mr. Vash, I think you are talking from the point of view of a railway official who has seen the problems and things like that. But politicians, the governments need to take note of the how the kind of responses which come from the people. There is a political aspect to this kind of thing. I'm sure you agree to that.
There is, but you need to explain. For example, I will tell you, there is so much hoo-ha about the tariff of electricity in Delhi. Are you aware that out of the 4 rupees that Delhi charges you, 1.5 is railway freight of coal, 1.5 rupees, and the railway spends only 50 paisa, charges you 1.5. If you told the public that by regulating railway freight, the unit cost of electricity will reduce by 1 rupee, they will jump at it. So मेरा कहना ये है, आप उनको एक्सप्लेन करिए कि भाई 25,000 करोड़ जो घाटा है पैसेंजर फेयर का, वो कहाँ से आ रहा है? वो इन्फ्लेशन से आ रहा है। जो गरीब आदमी ट्रैवल नहीं करता है, आप उससे पैसे ले रहे हैं, क्योंकि इन्फ्लेशन से तो वो भी मार खाता ना।
Sir, now coming to the safety aspects, there are several safety features which have been spelled out by the railway minister this time. One of the things which has always been talked about is replacing the ICF coaches with LHB coaches. You think enough has been done this time, and do you think that he's proceeding in the right direction on that?
I think they are in the right direction, and I can assure you that railway is a very, very, very safe mode of travel. We Indians are used to criticizing everything, and we will keep criticizing till the cows come home. But fact of the matter is, most environment friendly, cheapest in fuel friendly, and safest is railway. Yes, for women's safety and for crime on the railway, I am not satisfied. But there the fault is not of the railway, it is of the administration of the state. Because a murder on the rail, murder on the platform, or murder in the station, the state government has to take care, and the government railway police has nothing to do with the railway. It is the state police.
हालांकि महिलाओं की सुरक्षा के लिए आरपीएफ में महिलाओं की भर्ती के वादे भी आज किए गए हैं।
मेरे ख्याल से ये डायरेक्शन गलत है। ये तो ऐसा हुआ कि अगर सुनार अपना काम नहीं कर पा रहा है तो कहते एक लोहार ले आते हैं। रेलवे को सिक्योरिटी की कोई ज्ञान नहीं है, कोई तमीज़ नहीं है, ना वो कर पाएंगे।
Okay.
RPF.
Mr. Vaish, we are now joined in by Mr. Harish Rawat, Minister of State for Parliamentary Affairs. Welcome, Mr. Rawat. Mr. Rawat, do you think that this budget is in the right direction? After all these years of having problems with the railways, you think this budget can take the railways and restore its health?
Yeah, definitely. It is a budget in a right direction. It is a budget which addresses the problem being faced by Indian Railways for last so many years. It is the budget which we can say that basically it is a railway-oriented budget. Whatever people were expecting from Indian Railways, the Honourable Minister for Railways has tried to address these all core issues, especially without putting any extra burden on passengers, on common travellers. He has generated the resources to at least to fund all the ongoing projects. He says that these ongoing projects will be completed in a time-bound manner and fund will be provided for them. At the same time, seeing the national importance of some of the projects which are being declared by the government earlier, that these are the national projects, he has managed resources for those projects also. In fact, these projects, these projects are basically will cater the needs of the people of the hilly areas and the mountainous areas and the border areas. He has provided new lines. He has provided new trains, but at the same time, he says that the gauge conversion and doubling will also be taken care. For that purpose also, he has fixed a certain amount and certain target, and on the same line, he has pinpointed that where the safety of the passenger, safety of the travelers on roads, especially on passing through the unmanned
that's a major thing. Unmanned crossings, how to eliminate unmanned crossings.
And he has tried to address the amenities part also. He says who are paying, they should be catered better. They should be provided better amenities. He is the first railway minister for last so many years who has directly taken the responsibility of providing better facilities, better amenities
I'm sure this statement of yours will be challenged by the previous railway ministers.
No, I'm not criticizing. I'm not criticizing. I was a part of the government at that time also, but they have their own priorities, and he has shifted that priority to the safety and the amenities part. That goes to the credit of Mr. Pawan Bansal.
Mr. Rawat, one of the criticisms of experts, people who have been working in railways, people who have been discussing this issue, is that any new lines now is only going to make the safety aspect more hazardous. It's an hazard for the safety. So every year we see new trains being introduced, but as Mr. Vaish was earlier pointing out before you came, new lines now is a hazard.
In fact, in the beginning itself, he made it clear that the railway safety is of the paramount interest for the Indian Railways, and he has provided several safety measures, introduced new technologies, as well as he laid the emphasis on the gauge conversion and modernization, as well as remodeling of the older railway bridge also. So that's why you cannot we cannot say that he was off the mark on any of the essential components which people were expecting from a railway minister.
लोगों को एक सबसे ज़्यादा इसमें चिंता इस बात को लेकर थी कि कहीं रेलवे का किराया तो नहीं बढ़ जाएगा। इनडायरेक्टली उन्होंने रेलवे का किराया बढ़ाने के संकेत ज़रूर दिए हैं, जो फ्यूल सरचार्ज लगाने की बात, सप्लीमेंट्री फ्यूल एडजस्टमेंट सरचार्ज लगाने की बात
उन्होंने जो फ्यूल के उसमें जो है बढ़ोतरी है उसको एड्रेस करने के लिए उन्होंने अपने तरीके निकाले हैं और उन्होंने कहा हम उसको एडजस्ट करेंगे, लेकिन उसमें उन्होंने जो फंक्शनल एफिशिएंसी है उसके ज़रिए इसको बीट आउट करने की बात कही है। मगर मैं एक बात कहना चाहता हूँ, हमको एक धारणा स्पष्ट कर देनी चाहिए। हम भारत के किसी भी रेल मंत्री से ये तो कहते हैं कि वो आसमान से सारे चांद सितारे तोड़ करके लाए, लेकिन हम ये कहते हैं कि आज हमारी जेब से कुछ नहीं जाना चाहिए। अब इस धारणा को बदलना पड़ेगा। यदि हम सुविधाएं चाहते हैं, बेटर एम्यूनिटी चाहते हैं, वर्ल्ड क्लास रेलवे चाहते हैं, हम डेवलपमेंट में जो है रेलवे की पार्टिसिपेशन को बढ़ाना चाहते हैं, तो वी मस्ट वेयर वी कैन पे वी शुड बी प्रिपेयर्ड paying for.
Absolutely. I mean, I think what you're saying is absolutely true. A lot of people, even Mr. Vaish was talking about it before you came. If you ask any railway board member or people who have worked in railway, they will all agree with what he's saying. Mr. Vaish, one of the important things in this budget, what Mr. Rawat was mentioning, but exactly 347 priority projects have been identified. Do you think this is the right step? Because what we see is 20 years back, some new rail line has been announced. Nothing happens. 1 lakh, 2 lakh, 10 lakhs are being allocated every year, and after 20 years, you see that nothing has progressed. So this prioritization of the project, is it something which has come at the right time, or is it too late also?
No, it is neither at the right time and not too late. What I would say is 347 is just too many.
Too many.
What we need is 1 dozen. And after all that, I want to know overall what will be achieved.
How much has been given to this 347 also needs to be looked at.
And capacity. You see, there may be a line going somewhere, social purposes. I am not interested in that line. I want to know whether the railway will be able to carry the coal of all the powerhouses at present and new next year. Not 5 years hence, next year. I can guarantee they will not be able to carry. So, forgetting all that he has said, which is very nice and very good and very sweet to the ears, what I want to hear is that we are taking 50,000 crores loan and raising Indian railway capacity and lowering our freight expenditure, our total expenditure from 1 lakh crores to 70,000 crores and saving 30,000 crores per year. This is what I want to hear.
Okay, I want both of you to respond to this. PPP, he's spoken a lot about the PPP mode in which the railways wants to go into. You think, Mr. Vaish first and then Mr. Rawat, you think this is the solution to the funding problems of the railways?
No, PPP is excellent. But when you start making the conditions, we have finance and we have audit and we have vigilance and all that, the whole thing is being so messed up that not one good project has come up in all these years. Otherwise, this locomotive plants, this coach plants could be entirely PPP. So what I would say is that the kind of money which the railway requires can come only from World Bank or Asian Development Bank or Japanese assistance. It cannot come from anywhere else. Because what they do is...
The private funding which the minister is hoping for, and he himself concedes in his speech that the past experience has not been as good as it should have been.
You see, private funding, you take yourself, supposing you are the person to fund a project. You will want to know what is the project, what will I get out of it, 10%, 15%. The kind of work railway requires is spread out over hundreds of kilometers, and the return will come after 5 years. No private person is interested.
Okay, Mr. Rawat. About this PPP thing, And there is a lot of, many of the projects he says, the state governments have to be involved, the state governments have to also be part funding this. Every state government is, says that we don't have funds, you give the funds. Now, Railway Minister is saying you give the funds.
India needs new railway lines. India needs better railway amenities. India needs to have a very cohesive railway network for its development. And railway needs money.
Yeah.
And the money is most welcome. And I think it is the right time for our corporate sector, it is the right time from our industries. They should involve themselves as a partner in extending the railway network, in modernizing the railway network, in inculcating the safety measures in railways. That's why I think it is perfect on the part of Mr. Pound Banshal to bank upon in a right direction, that is PPP mode.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Rawat. Thanks for joining us. And so, Mr. Vaish, coming back to you, the issue of PPP, he is also, but why are you said that this private investments are not coming because of, they are not very convinced that they will get the kind of returns which they expect. So, you think there will be, as you said, the only way out is, World Bank and Japanese investments and things like that.
लेकिन एक सवाल ये है गिरीश कि अगर बाहरी कंपनियां आएंगी या वर्ल्ड बैंक या कोई प्राइवेट इन्वेस्टमेंट आएगा तो फिर इनडायरेक्ट फिर वही एक दबाव रहेगा कि उनके हिसाब से कहीं किराया तो नहीं बढ़ जाएगा, लोगों को ये लगेगा कि बाहरी कंपनियां या प्राइवेट पार्टनरशिप बढ़ रही है तो कहीं इनडायरेक्ट किराए में बढ़ोतरी तो नहीं हो जाएगी या इनडायरेक्ट आम आदमी पे उसका असर तो नहीं पड़ेगा।
ये किराए की जड़ एक दफ़े आप खोद क्यों नहीं देते हैं? हाँ। आप ये बता दीजिए आप कितना किराया देने को तैयार हैं। मेरे हिसाब से जो कॉस्ट है उतना तो आदमी को किराया देना चाहिए ना। जो भी आप किसी भी एक रैंडम रेल ट्रैवलर को पकड़ लीजिए, आपको वो बीपीएल में नहीं मिलेगा, क्योंकि बीपीएल बेचारा तो खाने को ही नहीं है, वो कैसे ट्रैवल करेगा। तो मेरा कहना ये, सबसे पहले आप पूरे देश को ये बता दीजिए कि भाई जो भी ट्रैवल करेगा उसको पैसा तो देना पड़ेगा, तो आप ट्रैवल कम करिए।
तो आप ये कह रहे हैं कि आम आदमी अब ट्रैवल ना करे?
बिल्कुल। अरे अंग्रेज़ कह गए ट्रैवल ओनली व्हेन यू मस्ट, तो हम तो उनसे बहुत अभी पीछे हैं।
लेकिन ट्रैवल तो देश को आगे ले जाने या तरक्की के लिए बहुत ज़रूरी भी माना गया है।
अच्छा, आपका पॉइंट लेते हुए जो मैं कह रहा हूँ कॉस्ट देनी पड़ेगी, तो अपन को कॉस्ट को लोअर करना चाहिए। वो कैसे लोअर होगी? बाय मेजर इन्वेस्टमेंट। क्योंकि जब 100 की जगह 70 गाड़ी चलेंगी तो गाड़ी चलाने का दाम ही घट जाएगा। आपको और बताएं, टन किलोमीटर की कॉस्ट और पैसेंजर किलोमीटर की कॉस्ट की रेशो 4:1 है इंडिया में। सारी दुनिया में 1:1 है।
Sorry, Mr. Vaish, we are now joined in by Mr. K.N. Balgopal of the CPIM, a member in the Rajya Sabha. Mr. Balgopal, welcome to you. We don't have too much time. Sorry, you tell us, how do you see this budget? Do you see, because the railway minister claims that he is trying to restore the health of the railways.
I found this is an average budget, because I expected something more, because this is the first time after some years a Congress minister from a major party, a Congress minister came to take charge. So the kind of pressures he should not be having. But pressures also will be less, and he will not be a state-oriented man, because he will take the whole country with some same importance. But while looking into the budget, actually he was even not read it all because of the label there. So I got the information that one thing is positive aspect I am finding is about the decision to fill up the vacancies. But the same thing, Mamata Banerjee also announced in the budget. She will going to fill all 1,50,000, 2 lakh vacancies. But if they are doing at least 50% of this is a good thing. But nothing else.
What about there is no fare hike.
No, I am saying, I am coming to that. There is a 5% hike in your cargo. Means all the cargo, that is a major thing affecting the country. So railway is then making some charges from reservation, some diesel fuel hike charges, some kind of special with other name they are hiking it. So this money is coming. So the hike is there. New kind of technology advancement is not there. And there is an dangerous thing. I heard only, I have to go into the details. There is an announcement about a PPP development in 3-4 lines. That is very important because
Yes.
corridor was there earlier, yes, freight corridor. Okay, we can understand. But this is a new lines. That means the line will be privatized. I fear, I am afraid.
जी, तो कुछ लोगों को ये लग रहा है कि ये पीपीपी मोड में जो इन्वेस्टमेंट कराने की प्रक्रिया है, इससे हो सकता है कि आने वाले दिनों में किराए बढ़ जाएं और इसका डर कुछ राजनीतिज्ञों में है। लेकिन वैश्य साहब का ये कहना है कि नहीं, अगर ये इन्वेस्टमेंट नहीं होगा तो आगे रेलवे के स्वास्थ्य को सुधारने में मुश्किल होगी। बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद आप सभी का हमारे इस कार्यक्रम में शामिल होने के लिए।